Sips question today brought to you by Trantolo and Trantolo. If you've ever been injured in a accident or anything, get a hold of them. They've been doing it for over 85 years in Hartford, Waterbury, Bridgeport, New Haven, and Torrington. They have new offices in New York, around Long Island, Riverhead, and Melville. In that area, just dial 9-844-999-9999. Who looks like a slugger from every sport?
Who looks like a slugger? So we did this the day you were going on Friday last week when Monty Kiffin passed away. R.I.P. Pour one out, Monty Kiffin, Tampa 2. He looked like football. And the question was, who looks like football? And Kurt and I, after that segment, were like, man, I like that segment. And keep it vague on these first dibs questions of the day and like leave it really open-ended. So after last night, I don't think Alec Baum looks like a slugger.
Nope. It's like a guitar player for a rock band.
Totally.
Got the bandana, man. He's got the hair, the looks.
Even
tall and thin.
Tay Oscar to me doesn't really look like a slugger. Like to me, Kyle Schwarber looks like a slugger. That's a slugger to me. A little bit of pudge, and also when you look at him, this guy can't do anything but hit.
Osuna looks like a slugger.
You think Osuna looks like a slugger?
Osuna looks like a slugger. Dallas Garcia looks like a running back.
That's the thing.
Jacked.
So Nick was trying to show me some MMA guys, and I think sometimes they're just too jacked. Like Andre Dawson.
I agree. A lot of guys that are kind of lean and not muscular kick the crap out of the other guy.
My favorite, the Hawk, not a slugger.
Who's the guy with like the four-colored hair? You know the guy I'm talking about. He's really skinny. He's got a ton. O'Malley.
Yeah, Sean O'Malley.
Sugar Sean.
No slugger. Not for him. No,
I'm not saying he's a slugger. I'm saying that guys that look like him, you wouldn't think he was an MMA guy, but he can fight like hell.
Tyson Fury looks like he'd be a slugger. Like put a baseball bat and like he
looks like a tackle.
I'm thinking
what
like
is he, 6'6", like
1930s, like a big poofy, like poof it out like Babe Ruth and like just 6'6", just guy who just looked like he got done drinking a brew dog and then stepped in the batter's box. Total slugger. John Kruk, to me, is the ultimate slugger look. Like, John Kruk looks like a guy who does not take care of his body, does not take care of his internals, and he can play first. That's about it. He's a slugger.
Who?
John Kruk.
Dude, Kruk was a hell of an outfielder.
Really?
One of the fastest guys I've ever seen on a baseball
fastest
field.
Guys
One of the fastest guys,
seen.
yeah. You
John
wouldn't believe
Kruk.
it. Great athlete. Cecil Fielder, 6 foot tall,
That's
300 pounds, could dunk a basketball.
No way!
Absolutely slam down Dude, these guys are athletes. Like Tony Gwynn, yes, he put on a bunch of weight. He had ankle issues. I think he had diabetes. And yes, but at the beginning, he was a baller. He was a basketballer in college. He was a hell of an athlete before he kind of got a little bit overweight and out of shape. But you didn't know he had a lot of health issues. And then he died really, really young. So Crocky was a different bird, though, man. He's from West Virginia, drank moonshine, but, man, he was a baseball player. He was a throwback to, like, the 20s and 30s. If there was anybody I played with that I thought, man, he could have been like Babe Ruth back in the day, that would have been Crocky. But he was a lot better than people gave him credit for. And I'll tell you what, who he loved was Pete Rose. So whenever he played against us, whether he was a Philly or San Diego, he put on shows. He ripped the crap out of me. I hated facing Crocky because that was a guy, you couldn't intimidate him. He was not going to back down because that wasn't like, in his mentality. He was just looking for something. I'm going to drive, and then I'm going to, turn into the baseball player on the base paths.
True slugger.
Glenn
Allen Hill. To me, Glenn Allen Hill is an intimidating slugger.
I think he should be a heavyweight boxer.
I know. I don't want to see Glenn Allen Hill in public.
You do not. Nor back alley. Although he is a sweetheart guy. He is no neck, and just
all attitude.
I'll tell you what, a guy that was a slugger that was actually one of the best hitters I've ever played with or against was Cal Daniels. Kalvosky. He was from Georgia.
Daniels. Let me look this one up.
Look him up. He blew out his knee, and that basically ended his chances of being like a household name.
Cal with a K.
Yeah, Cal with a K. Kalvosky Daniels, and Cal's the reason I stopped throwing a changeup. Cal hit a changeup off me in spring training in the scrimmage that it's still going. But he was kind of the guy who's my locker mate right next to me. And when he took his shirt off, he had, remember James Toney, the boxer?
Yeah.
That was Cal. And just not an ounce of fat on this dude. And here's the thing about Cal. Quiet. The quiet guys scare the crap out of me. Another kid, Glenn Braggs. Glenn Braggs
on the list.
could snap a bat off, and people would be like, oh, man, did you see that? Did it every day. It wasn't like a specialty thing. This guy did that every day because, like Norm and I, not that we're checking dudes out in the shower, but literally Glenn Braggs had muscles on his ass that I've never seen on a human. Muscles. We used to say muscles on his muscles. And dude, and
That's
not
some inside info, right
dude,
there.
not an ounce of fat, but G-man, as we called him, never said a whole lot. And then he had like his index finger was probably 2 inches longer than any other human I've ever seen. And so he would like kind of wave it at you like enough. And you'd be silent, like E.F. Hutton.
Now, Glenn Braggs was married to the girl from
I
Envo.
think they got divorced.
They got divorced.
I don't know. I'm not gonna go outside the box. I don't know the truth.
Usually you would go outside the box on this, but it must mean that Glenn Braggs is a slugger, and you don't want to say something you're not. I don't want to get listening area.
Listen, I just saw G at the reunion a little while ago, and that dude still looks like he's 25 and in shape. He's a trainer, a personal trainer. Personally, I don't want to be friggin' manhandled by G-Man.
I have Kendrick Perkins on my list as well. Imagine facing that dude. Like if you were in the pitcher's mound and he was in the batter's
his prime, that guy was a slugger.
Definitely a slugger.
That guy's a slugger.
I got you down, Dibbs.
Me? I was kind of a slugger.
Now.
Oh, now?
You look more like a slugger now.
The only thing I'm slugging is back a 12-ounce hike. I could slug the hell out of those.
That's Kurt. Kurt's slugging.
Kurt, are we slugging?
Kurt's a slugger in that one.
Yeah.
The little Jaeger.
I
mean, Aaron Judge is a slugger.
Yeah. I had old Eddie Murray on the list. Not young.
Yeah, still a slugger.